friends, and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. This channel is all about planning. Of course, Mark is drinking water. He always says that when I start filming. This channel is all about, what is this channel about? This channel is all about planning, budgeting, paying off debt, and my very exciting journey from full-time teacher to full-time Etsy shop owner and YouTuber. I wanted to hop on here really quickly and do an intro before the budget. We're going to close out September's budget with me today because there's some things I wanted to let you know that aren't going to be in that part of the video. First of all, thank you so much for your help last week. I cannot even begin to thank you enough for all your help. You guys gave me so many great ideas. Some of them I was able to implement this week right away, which was super exciting. Some are going to be implemented in the future. They're going to take a little bit longer to implement, but I just wanted to thank you. I did want to let you know something you're not going to see in the video is that I was able to do budget billing with my budget, the utilities that go to the city. That was a suggestion from several people to do budget billing through my city, and I did that, and I'm so excited because last week's bill was $371, which was $71 above our budget of $300. With budget billing, every month it's going to be the same amount of money. It's going to be $274. So that's amazing. I was also able to set up on auto payments with them, so I don't have to worry about, that was the one I kept like paying late because it was the only one I had to like physically go and pay. So now I'm on auto billing and it's a set amount and it comes out the same day and the same amount. And so I'm so excited about that. I did end up getting a new car, which I do talk about in the video. I traded in my van and I got an older vehicle with higher miles and a much lower car payment, but it's still a nice vehicle. I'm still okay with it. I'll insert a few pictures for you to see really quickly. I really appreciate your suggestions for part-time jobs. Some of them that I was like excited about, which, you know, might not be for everybody, but like somebody suggested I do cleaning and I was like, yeah, I love cleaning. I wouldn't mind. It's like therapeutic to me. It's relaxing. In fact, I have started my second YouTube channel. It is called At Home with Life in Envelopes, and that channel is going to be all about cleaning and organizing and decluttering and occasional cooking. So if you have not subscribed to that channel, please head over there and subscribe to it. That is going to be another source of income for me, and it's also just something I'm passionate about and I love doing. The first video so it's an old channel of mine, so it has some old videos, some old family videos on there, which I just could not delete. But the new videos will start tomorrow. So the first clean with me will be coming out tomorrow. So cleaning was one of them. Working at a store where I can get a discount on like groceries or things that we need to buy. So I was like Target, like being a cashier at Target, like I think that would be fun. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. And then somebody suggested like working at an animal shelter, and I was like, oh my gosh, is that even a possibility? Can I go like walk doggies and feed them and bathe them and help take care of them? I would absolutely love doing that. So yes, lots of good ideas. Also, somebody mentioned Patreon. I have a question for you guys though, really quickly. I know you're here for the budget and we're gonna get to that. But if I do Patreon, I was thinking about like the way it works is like there's like different levels of Patreons, and then like I give you something in return for you being a Patreon person. So like at different levels, and I was trying to think, well, what can I give you? And I do have a few ideas, but I would love to hear your suggestions. Like if I do decide to do a Patreon account, like what would you like to receive in return for being at different levels? Okay, let's get to the budget. I know that's why you're here. It's exciting, it's good. Let's get into it. It is time to close out my September budget. Before we jump into it, I wanted to let you know that I'm using the Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. This printable is from my friend Budget with Ira, and these stickers are from Cara Jo Plans. Everything that I'm using in this video is linked in the description box below, and anytime I have a coupon for you, it is also in the description box below. And if you can't find a specific thing, it's probably in my Amazon shop, like this pen, this erasable pen. It's in my Amazon storefront. Last week, some people mentioned that they hadn't seen Cara Jo Plans for a while, so I just wanted to let you know I did reach out to her on Instagram, and I have not heard back. So hopefully everything is okay. Maybe she's just taking a break right now. Okay, I always like to start with the expense tracker. The way I use her workbook is I use one expense tracker per week, and then I color code all of my categories, and then I do a key down here where I calculate the total spent in each category. This information is super helpful when you go to close out your budget at the end of the month, which is what we're going to do today. So this information is being used later today. By the way, if it's white, it means that that was a deposit. It was income. Okay, let's head over to the calendar and see where our money went this week. Okay, starting with debt. We had 2 debt payments this week. The first one was to my student loan, which is $40. I recently signed up for a it's an IDR, an income-driven repayment plan, and that's the amount that they gave me. Next, we had a medical bill, a medical debt of $50, so that was paid this week. I think this was just a couple of co-pays that hadn't been paid before my insurance went from our old insurance plan to Medicaid. Okay, looking at bills. We had one bill this week, and it was for our our gas energy for our house, and that was $35. Okay, next up is food. So we spent $200 on food this week. Okay, for gas, we did not spend anything on gas this week. For miscellaneous, we also did not spend anything. Even though we don't spend anything in these categories, I still like to track it so I can just see. For spending, we did do our $45 for spending. So that was 20 for me, 20 for David, and 5 for Logan. For sinking funds, we did not do any sinking funds this week. Okay, moving on now to what we budgeted versus what we actually spent. This is where I left you last week, and I was so flustered and it was such a mess, I just abandoned it and asked for your guys' help. And thank you so much for your help. Let's see what actually happened this week. Okay, so we had a negative rollover amount of $49, and I decided to deposit all the money that was in my miscellaneous cash envelope, so that was $163. So the difference was $114. So we had a rollover / miscellaneous income of $114, and that was what it actually was. Etsy was $341, and the child tax credit was $250. YouTube was actually a different amount. I need to go look that up really quickly. Give me just a second. Okay, so my take-home pay for YouTube was actually $221, so it was a little bit higher than I first thought it was going to be. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. So, big announcement, I turned my van into the dealer. Yes, this was a huge step for us. So, to make a long story short, we ended up with a vehicle that's 2 years older than the van. And my monthly payments are going to be $115, but we didn't have to pay this month. We don't have to pay in October either. Our first payment doesn't come out until November. So this was actually $0, which is huge for us right now. And I have to say, the vehicle I got, I did have a van, now I have an SUV. And I'm okay. It's older, it has 100,000 miles on it, so I do want to make sure that I stuff my car envelope, emergency car envelope thing right away. But I'm okay. I'm okay with this choice and this decision. Actually, I'm more than okay. I am happy. I am happy with this choice and this decision. It's so nice to not have that huge bill every month. Okay, so student loan was actually $40. And what was Alliant? Alliant was $35, so a little bit higher than I budgeted. So altogether that would be $75. So let me see what our actual income was. So we had $114, $341, $221, and $250. That's $926. Okay, so we had $926, $75 went to bills versus $517. Oh, I cannot tell you how happy I am with the decision that we made. And that was, I don't know if, okay, so 926 minus 75 gives us 851 to work with. So I'm going to bring that down here to our cash envelopes, which are our variable expenses. So we have 851. Food, we did spend $200 on food, and then I did end up, I was able to give myself my spending money this week as well. So that was 20 for me, 20 for David, 5 for Logan. So we did spend 45 on that, and then these were 0. So that would be 245. So 851 minus 245, that is $606. So we do sinking funds the first week of the month. So it's not happening this week, it's happening next week. And then extra debt, I have a plan to get us back on track to paying off extra debt. So we will talk about that in the future. And then we did, wait a second, didn't I do that in week 3? No, I didn't. Okay, so $20 did go to our savings for the savings challenge. And wait, I could have sworn I already did that in week 3. I'm getting confused. Okay, $20 went to the savings challenge. So let's see how much we're going to have. We're not, okay. I need to roll over $100 for next month. And I'm going to set up next month with you in tomorrow's video, but I already know I'm going to need $100 for that. So whatever we have left over, we are going to put towards our sinking funds, which we will do next week. So this is going to tell us how much we're going to have to put towards our sinking funds. Okay, so we had $606. So 20 plus, okay, let me see. So 606 minus 20 is 586, minus 100 is 486. Thank you. So 486, whew, that is so awesome, you guys, is going to go towards our sinking funds. So I will make a separate video about the sinking funds, so be looking for that coming out sometime next week. Okay, so that came to 606, bringing our total to 0 because we zero out our budget at the end of each month. Wow, guys, we sure ended a lot better than I thought things were going to end when I was budgeting with you last week. Okay, we are now going to move on to the final steps of closing out my budget, which is we're going to do the monthly budget category breakdown and see what % of our income went to each category. And then we are going to compare last month to this month and see how we did. Okay guys, I forgot to color code these. I'm going to do that really quickly first. These are the highlighters that I use to color code. They are from Amazon and they are in my Amazon storefront. I just love that they're retractable. And I just made the labels myself. Okay, so our starting balance was $235 because at the end of last month, that's how much we had left over, which we took and put in our sinking funds. So I did that the first week of September. So that's why it's a starting balance of $235. As far as our income goes, I already calculated what we made for income the first 3 weeks. So let's see what we made for income on the 4th week, and then we can add it all together. So we had Etsy for $341, we had YouTube for $221, and we had the child tax credit for $250. So we had $812 for income. So let's see what this was all together. So we have 812, we had 2142 the first week, 266 the second week, and 384 the third week. So that was 3604. I didn't think we made that much money. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so our income was $3,604. So $3,604 plus 235 means our total was $3,839. Okay, I am not so concerned this month. I'm not so concerned with what we budgeted versus like what we actually spent. I do see a value in calculating those things, but my budget got really messed up this month, and what I really want to know is what percent of income went to each category. So we're going to look at that instead of comparing the difference of budgeted versus reality. So for debt, we spent $1,407. So the way I calculate the percent to income is I take the amount we spent divided by that times 100. So 1,407 divided by 3,839 is 0.366, so times 100 would make it 36.6, which is 37%. So 37% went to debt. Okay, for bills, we spent $736. So 736 divided by 3839 will give us 20%. Oh, wait, no, sorry, 19%. Okay, for food, we spent $680. So 680 divided by 3839 is 18%. For gas, we spent $35. So 35 divided by 3839 is, let's say times 100, not even 1%. We'll go with 1%. We're going to round up to 1%. Okay, miscellaneous was 41. So again, that's going to be 1%. Okay, spending, we spent 180. Okay, 180 divided by 3839 is 5%. Sinking funds, $235 went to sinking funds. Let's see, 235. That is 6%. And then finally, savings. We were able to set aside $20 for savings this month. It's a start, you guys. I know it's not a large amount. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's going to be less than 1%. So all together, when I add these together, it should be approximately 100%. It's going to be a little bit off because I did round up. So let's see, 37 plus 19 plus 18 plus 1, 2, 3 plus 5 and 6 is 11. So that's only 88%. And the reason why is because I need to also include the rollover amount for next month, which is going to be a total of 586 when we add the rollover plus the sinking funds that we're going to do next month. So 586 for rollover. Okay, so now it should be 100%, but we'll see. So 586, so that's 15%. So we're still a little bit off. Let's see. 103. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so now that we have that information, we can compare last month, we can compare August and September and see what the changes have been. So let's start with the monthly income. So last month we had, in August, we had an income of $32.35. This month we have an income of $38.39. Oh, that's cool to see. We actually made more money this month, quite a bit more. We made $604 more this month. That is so cool. Okay, so for debt, we had 37% go to debt. So 1407. Oh, you know what? I think last month I may have calculated my our house payment as a bill instead of a debt, because our house payment is $13.70, and yeah, I think that's probably what happened here. So this isn't going to be an accurate comparison. So $736. Okay, so food. The variable expenses are what I'm more interested in anyway. So for food, we spent $680, so we spent more this month. We did so good last month on food. So for gas, we spent $35, so we also spent a little more this month. Miscellaneous, we only spent $41. Medical, we didn't spend anything this month. Spending, we spent, oh, exactly the same. And sinking funds, we spent $235. And then savings and rollover, okay, so we've got 20 for savings and 586 for rollover. Okay, so bills, that was 19%. Food was 18. Gas was 1. Miscellaneous was 1. Medical was 0. Spending was still 5%. Sinking funds was 6%. And savings was 1%. So rollover was 15%, for a total of 103%. Okay, so let's look at the change. These first two really don't matter because it's not an accurate number, so let's just not worry about those right now. So for food, so the change was 3%, so we went up by 3%. Went up by 3%. Gas was exactly the same. Miscellaneous, we went down by 2%. Medical was down by 1%. Spending was exactly the same. Sinking funds was up by 2%. And savings was up by 1%, and rollover was up by 15%. This is actually really exciting. So besides, like, food going up is not good. I'd rather keep food as low as possible. But miscellaneous went down, which is awesome. Medical went down. And then where we want things to go up, they went up. Our sinking funds went up. Our savings went up. Our rollover went up. So this is all very exciting. I'm glad that you guys encouraged me to do these monthly closeouts. They are very telling and very helpful. So this is where we are going to end our budget closeout for September. I am going to set up the budget for October tomorrow, so if you want to see that, then come back tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all again next time. Bye everyone.